Hi guys, welcome to another news story.
I know, that's what it looks like.
Hi guys, welcome back to Wine and Spirits.
Yay!
I hope you all had a really safe and fun New Year's.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you didn't get into too much trouble.
Or maybe a little bit.
Or maybe a little bit. So, what are we going to drink today?
So today we are doing, it's called Tribute, and it is a cab. I'm going to let you guess price, what you think of it. But this is what it looks like.
I volunteer. I volunteer as tribute. Okay, I got to guess price.
You're
okay.
Such a nerd, and I love it.
Woo! Smells really good. I'm a smell person. Ooh, that tastes good.
It's pretty good. I like it. What would you rate it?
Actually, I like this a lot. I would probably buy it. So I'm going to say a 5 because I would buy it.
I'm going to say a 7. Oh, wait. We're going 1 to 5.
That's how good it is, though. See?
I'm going to do a 4
and
a half.
I was going to do 4.5. But then I was like, I'm going to say 5 because I like it. Because it doesn't have like, because some cabs have that gritty aftertaste. But this
does not.
This is smooth.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, so I like.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think that costs?
God, I am horrible at this game.
And I'm going to point out it is a twist off. A lot.
You know, and it actually tastes still pretty good for being a twist off. I'm going to say $10.99.
Is that your final answer?
Fine, $12.99.
$16.
Dang. It's definitely worth $16.
Yeah, it's good.
See, and I was going to go... This is what makes me mad. I was going to go higher, but I'm like, watch, I'm going to go high. Safe. I'm going to go high, and then she's going to be like $6.97 or something.
See,
like
that's
that.
what I have in my head, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I would definitely pay $16.99 for that.
And a lot of people make, and the whole reason I brought the twist off, because everybody's like, oh, it's a twist off, it doesn't even have a cork. Well, nowadays, they are like, I feel like they're moving away from corks.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are twist off, even the more pricey ones.
Which I'm fine with, because I'm always accidentally breaking the cork off into the bottle, and it's like, oh.
I usually drink mine the same day anyway, so like...
Yeah. Right, so what's the... Oh, you don't need the cork.
I don't even care.
But that just goes to show you that even twist-offs has good taste. I mean, a lot of people shy away from it because they're like, oh, if it's a twist-off, it can't be that good. But this wine is really good.
Agreed. And then I have an aged cheddar. It was aged for 18 months. So it's like it falls apart.
Let's try it. That's good. I like that so much better than Stinky Hoo-Ha.
Which that stinky cheese that we had last time, my husband came and took the whole thing of it and just ate it. He said it was good.
Ugh.
So maybe if you like brie, you'd probably like it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I just can't believe how many brie lovers there are out there. There's a lot. And there's like so many different varieties of brie. Like when I was going to get this Gouda, I went there and like half the thing was like all brie and like different things. I'm just like, nope. If someone out there can find a brie that doesn't have a stinky smell or funky aftertaste that you think that I would like.
That's a good challenge.
Yes. Because right now I absolutely loathe it. Loathe it. But, I mean, there might be one out there that I might like because that's how I am with Chardonnay. I don't really like Chardonnay, but I've doing that Advent calendar. There's been a few that I'm like, ooh, this is actually really good. Because it tastes more like a Riesling to me than a Chardonnay. But I liked it.
I I agree.
So today, we're going to actually do a little true crime. Yeah.
And this one is a little sad. Well, a lot sad. It is.
Yes.
This one hits me in my feels, so just a trigger warning.
So this is the story of Chris Watts. It's actually on Netflix if you want to go watch the documentary on it. So how it goes is at approximately 1:48 a.m. on Monday, August 13th, 2018, Shannon, returning from a business trip to Arizona, was driven home by her friend and colleague, Nicole. I'm not going to say the whole name. Mm-hmm. Over that weekend, Watts was home with their daughters. Later that day, Shannon and the girls were reported missing.
Shannon, I think.
Is it Shannon? I always said Shannon. I don't know why. Shannon and the girls were reported missing by Atkinson, who became concerned when Shannon missed a scheduled OB appointment and failed to return her text messages. So not only was she with her two daughters, but she was also pregnant.
And I think she was newly pregnant too, like only like 13 weeks or so. Or no, that would be second trimester, I think. But
yeah, it was still pretty early, but yeah. So she failed to return her text messages, and after Shannon missed a business meeting, Atkinson went to the Watts residence at about 12:10 p.m. When the doorbell and knocks went unanswered, Atkinson notified Christopher, who was at work, and called the Frederick Police Department. A police officer arrived to conduct a welfare check at about 1:40 p.m. During the welfare check, Christopher gave the police officer permission to search the house, where the family dog was discovered unharmed, but no sign of Shannon or the girls were found. It said was found. Ooh, I hate grammar errors and... Anyway, so if you watch... We'll try to post the video in the description so that you can watch it if you guys are curious on it. But like when you watch the documentary and when it was happening, the husband had like a very calm demeanor when he was being interviewed by the police, and you'll get to see that all in the video when you watch it. Mm-hmm. So searchers discovered Shannon's purse containing her keys and the children's medicine, which is red flag number 1. Her phone was later located between the couch cushions in the family home. Her car, which still contained a girl's car seats, was in the garage. Shannon? Is it Shannon's? Shannon's wedding ring was...
I know, it's like Shannon.
Shannon's wedding ring was found on... It sounds
I don't know.
weird.
We're going to have to Google how to say that again, because I know it's not Shannon.
Yeah. Shannon's wedding ring was found on the bedside table. The FBI and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation joined the investigation the next day. Watts initially told police they had no idea where his family might be and that he had not seen his wife since 5:15 a.m. the previous day when he left for work. He gave interviews to Denver stations, so 2 news stations, outside the house pleading for the return of his wife and daughters. And he was believable. If you watch this video, he had tears. Psychotic is all I can say. Investigators with search dogs could be heard on the property during the interview. And then in the early hours of August 13th, 2018, American oil field operator murdered his pregnant wife, Shannon, by strangulation, and their 2 children, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3, by smothering them. He buried Shannon, in a shallow grave near an oil storage facility and dumped his children's bodies into crude oil tanks. Watts initially maintained his innocence in his family's disappearance, but was arrested on August 15th after confessing to murdering Shannon in an interview with detectives. He later admitted to murdering his children as well.
There's so much to unpack here. And you've watched the documentary on Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. And how their like text conversations went, and
yep.
Oh God, where do you even start? Did you know he was dating his coworker?
So that's what I was going to bring up, because if I recall correctly, this whole thing spurned from that, because he kept saying he was going to leave his wife. Mm-hmm. And he was promising his coworker that he was going to leave her, and he didn't know how to do it. And, that now wasn't the right time because she's pregnant, and he just found out. He was upset about it, that she was pregnant, and they had been fighting. But it all spurned out of he got rid of them, basically, so he could be with this other woman.
And I find it very hard to believe that the other woman played zero role in this. Because, like, the way they made their conversations sound like, it almost feels like she had a hand in it, but she
didn't get charged with anything.
And if you're unhappy, leave.
Right.
Just leave.
I agree.
Why would somebody murder their children and their wife? And what?
I mean, if
just
you're,
fucking
if you're,
leave. Go.
Yeah, if you're to that point, to just leave. I mean, to go through and commit it and then put on a whole show how you're so sad, you don't know where they went.
Can you imagine the fuck? Ooh, that is like, he is another level of psycho.
And I think what ultimately got him caught too is I think a neighbor
had
video of him. I don't know if he was pulling the bodies out or what, but everything was on video, and they actually recorded his reaction when he was watching this.
I remember that in the house, and because they were in the neighbor's house when that was happening.
Yep.
So he was just like, he was getting flustered.
Yep.
Like,
you could see his body language was just like I'm done for. And we'll try to find that video too and put that in the description and link it so you can watch it. But
okay, I can't remember. Did he have abuse charges like prior? Like, was abuse?
I don't remember
a thing with them.
I don't remember if there was actual charges, but I know that Shanann's co-worker had been talking about, she had been expressing to her their marital problems about cheating, stuff like that, and how they were arguing all the time, and he wasn't happy with this kid. He didn't want it or something like that, and that they had been arguing. But she had alluded to him being abusive, but never
outright said it.
Right. I know, it's hard. And it's really hard, too, because you always wonder how someone can get to that point where they can just, especially an unborn child. I mean, it's one thing to leave someone, but...
Well, and, like, his kids, he put them in oil tanks, like, and then acted like he was just
like he didn't know where they were. And that
like,
he thinks that she left because they had an argument before their business trip.
And how dare him do that? And she at her mom's for weeks prior to that. She went away.
Yep, because they
needed space.
Yep. And then she came back, and I think they talked about working stuff out. But then
they did through text too. When they showed the text messages, it's like, okay, that doesn't sound like somebody who's about to fucking slaughter his family,
right? But then she had to go away on her business trip, and then she came back, and I think that's when it happened. And I don't know. I feel like he plotted with this coworker that he was going to be with.
I also feel like that.
I have no idea, and she just must have been squeaky clean, but I have no idea how she did not get implicated in this as well.
Well, she acted like, from what I remember, just like, yeah, that sucks.
Excuse me, Reach.
That sucks. Like, I'm sorry if the guy I was seeing was...
She didn't seem...
murdered his family. I would be... That would be just... I would be
disturbing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would show a little bit more emotion than like, well...
Yeah, because even her interview, I think there was an interview for her, she didn't seem like... She seemed emotionless. Like, it was just... There was nothing there, so I guess two crazies, they belong together. But how sad is that? I mean, it just breaks my heart, especially with anyone getting murdered, but especially when it's kids.
Children involved.
In an unborn child. And it just makes me sad.
He just spent the whole weekend just with his kids. And to be like,
right.
I'm going to do this because pussy.
Right.
I want this vagina. I do not want this person.
How can you? I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you can do that. How you can do that and be okay. I don't know. And so kind of piggybacking on like the whole story of the Amityville horror, like that one was, truly scary and stuff, but that one was more about paranormal stuff, being possessed and stuff like that. And that I can understand. But him, there was none of that. There was no paranormal element of it. That was just someone who wanted to kick it with someone younger
and start fresh
and just want to get rid of his life.
Did you know that women were like sending him letters while he was in jail?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, I saw that. That's also in the documentary, and I was just like, I don't know. That's crazy.
Could you even imagine being like, you know what? This is a person I would like to date. The one who murdered his family. But that's how first. There was a lot of glaring red flags, but like,
what? Yeah, leaving all of her belongings, the car seats, the children's medications. You wouldn't just leave all the talent. That's what he was trying to sell. We got in a fight, so she just took off. You wouldn't leave, even if you're just going to take off, you wouldn't leave without getting your children's medications or taking the car seats or anything. I mean, that was a huge red flag.
And I like that her friend, though, knew that was not like her. Yeah.
And I'm glad. I'm glad she pressed for it, and that probably pissed him off, but I mean, it's crazy, the stories that I hear around this. I mean, there's that one extreme of killing your whole family. And then there's the other extreme of where the guy just leaves and starts a whole brand new life, a new family, and the person doesn't know what happened to them, where they went, or thinks they're dead.
Rather have that happen.
And then come to find out that they actually moved somewhere, got married to someone else. And
fucking do that. Do that.
But, yeah.
As opposed to...
But that's just like, and I can't remember the name of the honeymoon couple we were talking about before, where he tried to kill.
They went to Australia, right? They were doing this scuba diving in Australia or New Zealand.
And she was hesitant on doing it because she was afraid of the water, and he made her take the classes, and he's like, I'm experienced. He was experienced. And he did something with her belt or something so that. And the crazy thing about it is there was another couple taking pictures that is the reason why they saw it and stuff, and that's why he didn't get away with it. But come on. Jeez. Just leave. I mean, it's not that serious. It's not that serious to get to a point where you want to be with someone else, so you're going to kill your entire family. That's crazy. That's psychotic to me.
It is.
Especially, I don't understand it at all.
And, like, I feel like their text messages, he alluded to them working things out. And, like...
Yeah.
And it was really weird that, like, a week later, he would just...
I feel like...
do that.
But I feel like he did that to try to cover his tracks.
Maybe he didn't want to pay spousal support or child support.
He would have had to.
Because she was working for an MLM, so she basically was a stay-at-home mom.
Right. I feel like he did those texts to have some trail documentation to make it seem like, oh, no, we were working things out. So that no one would suspect him. But on the flip side, him and his hoe, sorry, were plotting the whole time to get rid of her. And, I mean, how could you look at your sweet kid's face and smother them to death? That's what's crazy to me. But it was evident from the fights and stuff that Shannon told her coworker, Nicola, that he was not happy about that third child. Like, he didn't want it. And I feel like he was not happy about it because he felt like he was going to be stuck more and he wanted to be with this other girl.
Right.
Whew. It's a rough subject.
If you're dealing with domestic violence or, like, in situations that are hard, there are resources. I'll try to... maybe link some in here.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're stuck or you have nowhere to go.
Yep. Because that's another thing too, is a lot of these abusive relationships, and it's not always just the men. Sometimes there's women too, but most 9 times out of 10 when we're talking about men, they make the female feel like they can't get help or they can't get out of it. Right. There's a movie coming out. I actually want to see it. That one with Anna Kendrick in it, and it's called Alice Darling. So I looked at the trailer for it, and it's this woman that's in a abusive relationship, but she makes excuses for the guy. Oh no, he's just concerned about my safety and stuff like that. Well, she wanted to go away on a girls' trip. Yeah. And she knew that he wouldn't let her go, so she lied and said, oh, that work project I had to do, they actually want me to go. So she lied about this girls' trip. And all they were going to is a cabin. It was like something so tame. Like, it's not like they were going to Vegas or something like that. They were going to the cabin just to kind of catch up because all their lives were busy. Yeah. and they're like, we haven't seen you for a while because he keeps her away from, and that's
another sign.
That's what
Isolating.
abusive men do, is they isolate you. They don't want you to hang out with your family. They don't want you to hang out with your friends. They cut off all of your resources to make you feel alienated, so that you have to depend on them. And that's kind of what this movie goes along with. And so she lied to go get there, and then he's calling all the time, then he just shows up. It's really crazy. It looks like a really good movie, so I'll get back to you guys on if it is or not. Is it
out already?
No, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's coming out. It was just released this year, so let's see. Release date, December 30th.
Okay.
Hey, it's coming soon. Okay. But yeah, so that looks like a really good movie, but like it's just so hard. I hate that it gets to that point where they're killing their whole family. It makes me so sad. And it makes me sad for their family too. Because this is a person that they're married to, you're bringing them into your home, you trust them, you think they're a good guy, and then something like this happens out of the blue. I don't know.
It really hurts my heart.
Me too.
I don't like it.
But yeah, that's the Chris Watts story. If you're interested, it is on Netflix if you have Netflix. I don't know if it's on any other platform, but it's a really good documentary. It's called The Neighbor Next Door or something like that. And they go through everything. They go through the whole history, their family, the kids, the other woman. Sorry. And they go through all the interviews, and they show all the way down to when he got caught.
And in the court, he just looks so like he has no emotion.
Some of these people are just they're psychotic, and it's so scary to see. And I always wonder, you know how they do the brain scans of like a normal brain, and this is a person with ADHD, and this is a person. I always wonder, against a normal brain of what we define as normal, what a person who's like a psychopath like that, their brain looks like. They've had
to have done.
I'm sure they have. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember the court case. It was a young kid, and he had murdered all these kids, just shot up a school or something like that. I don't remember. He had written I want to say months before, either on some social platform or something, that he was upset because I don't know if he was getting bullied. I think he was getting bullied or some extent, but that he was going to do this. And then it was almost like a cry for help, but I don't know if anyone really took it seriously. And then he ended up killing a lot of his classmates. But this is how crazy it was, is some people, when they get in court, they realize what they did, and they're like, I'm so sorry, I messed up, I don't know why I did this, and blah, blah, blah. And they actually show genuine remorse. This kid, if you watch the court thing, he's smirking in it. He comes to, he's got a white shirt on it, and it says something killer on it. He's mocking, and he's just when the victims' parents are telling their heartfelt testimony, and they're crying, they pan over to him, and he's just sitting there smirking. And then, you know how they kind of usually ask the person, do you have anything, last thing you want to say? He actually turned to one of the victims, and he's like, yeah, I'm the one who pulled the trigger and killed your blah, blah, blah. And he's like, go F yourself, stuff like that. Yeah, this kid, this young kid, and it's just that's scary.
Have you seen that little boy's there? So there was a teacher doing interviews with little kids, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you seen this?
What is it?
Oh my god, he was probably 7-ish, I want to say, give or take. And the teacher was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I want to be a murderer. So then she kept going, and she's like, can you tell me more? He was like, I would murder you, and pointing to every, it was so weird.
Oh my god.
And then he was like, but not my mom, or not my family. I love them, but I want to grow up in kill. Like,
that's
like it was like
scary.
fucking weird. And it was all over TikTok. I would
good
look that up.
Lord. That gave me chills.
But he had like this, like, tools, like, this is what I want to do. Heard about this. I've seen it.
And then you always wonder, it's like, is it...
But is anything being done about this kid? Is he in therapy? Is he working through shit? I'm going to guess no, because I feel like mental health isn't taken seriously.
No, it's not. Sometimes, you know, people discount it and they don't realize it's a real struggle sometimes for people. And it's hard to realize that if you haven't gone through it yourself. And that's why and I don't want to go off on a whole different tangent, but I feel like people should get trained, certain peace officers and stuff like that should get trained in that area too as well, to be able to better identify what is a mental breakdown and what's someone like high off meth or just resisting or whatever. Because sometimes there's people having actual mental crises. You don't know. A person can look normal on the outside, but they could be having a manic episode, you know, if they're bipolar and stuff like that, if they're off their meds. The same thing that happened with, is it Eliza Lamb with the Cecil Hotel? That's probably what happened with her. You know, who knows what was going on, but I don't know. It's creepy. It's creepy how normal, like I said, our definition of normal, people can look and then do something like that, kill their whole family. That scares me. You can be walking down Target aisle and standing next to someone who just killed someone and you don't even know it.
What is the statistic about walking or like passing by a serial killer in your life? Is it like if the average person walks by 5
I don't know.
in their entire life, but you have no idea? I think, is it 5? I want to say 5. That's my gut. It's what I remember. But maybe it's like 4.
I don't know. It's so hard nowadays to do anything. It's like I don't even want to go to Walmart because people are being crazy and shooting up Walmarts. But that's what I mean, is you never know what's going on, what someone's struggle. And some of it stems, like most of the ones that I've been reading about, like the high school shootings and stuff, they're being bullied for months. And it's so sad because you see it. You will walk past 36 murderers in your lifetime. Oh,
36 murders in your lifetime.
But that's the thing, is it's
hot damn.
It's scary because I mean it's usually stemmed from something. Either they're being abused at home, they're being bullied. Something usually.
It does not make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
And those people should.
But those are usually the ones that are more prone to that act of violence. But in this case, this is what's weird to me. Is like you would expect that from someone who's being bullied and stuff to be prone to that act of violence. But then here you have Chris Watts, who has a beautiful house, beautiful family, tight-knit community, friends with everyone, good job. It's not like they were poor. A new kid on the way, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I want to bang this chick, so I'm just going to off my entire family. What causes that? It's crazy to me. Crazy. But anyways.
Stay safe.
I've been rambling, so I'm done. Ha! Yeah.
No.
If you have issues, either work it out or walk away. That's my bottom line. Work it out or walk away. Don't kill anyone.
No.
Yeah. It's never the answer. Right? See? That's why I wore the shirt. That's how I felt about that. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. We want to go drink some wine and hang out. So I'm continuing the rest of my birthday weekend. I don't care. It's a whole weekend. It's not just a day. Or as my friend...
You're such a bougie bitch.
As my friend Jenny says, it's the whole week and the weekend. She does a whole entire week.
I do one day.
Oh, I do the weekend because I'm bougie.
Bougie ass bitch.
Yeah.
This one.
Ooh, ooh.
All right, we're going to go drink wine and go hang out.
Thank you. We'll see you on the other side. Hey guys, not even thinking about it. We actually recorded this episode before New Year's. So the movie that we're talking about with Anna Kendrick, It's coming out on December 30th. Hopefully you go and check it out, or you've checked it out. But yeah, we will be going and hanging out with our friends. And yes, it was my birthday weekend, and yes, I am celebrating it, and yes, I am going to go drink some more. So there. That's what I'm going to talk about.
Cheers, bitches.
We'll see you again
Boom.
on the other side.